Okay, one review, Connor. You can get through this. You can get through this. You can get. It's just a bad game, Connor. It's just a shitty game. Here we go. Let's review Star Fox Zero. And welcome to Connor Reviews. And today, we're going to talk about the game that has probably killed the Star Fox franchise once and for all. And that game, of course, is Star Fox Zero. Now, for those of you who don't know what Star Fox Zero is, well, then you're everybody else, because literally nobody kind of has a clue what this game is. Is it a Star Fox 64 remake? Kinda. Is it a standalone game? Kinda. Is it a reboot? Kinda. Does the fact that nobody really knows what to exactly call this game playing a role in the negative review of this game? Yes. Yes, it is. Really, I shouldn't already be making fun of the game. It should be easy to just describe what the game is. But the game doesn't make itself easy to describe because you don't really know what the game is trying to be. My opinion, the game is a shitty remake of Star Fox 64, but due to the Wii U's awful sales, they decided to change the name to make people think, wow, it's a standalone game. Hey, I'll get it then for sure, to maybe help boost sales. But it's not. It's a shitty Star Fox 64 remake. Now, I would never do a review on a game that's a remake of an older game. However, this game clearly claims, due to its title alone, that it is not a remake. No, it's a standalone game. So in that case, I will review it as a standalone game. I'm gonna fucking rip it a goddamn part. So in Star Fox 64, the game this is clearly not a remake of, when the game first begins, we get this awesome little introduction. It's about minute and a half quick introduction with just the right amount of information we need to know and this just wickedly sounding kind of narrator. It's just beautiful. So how does Star Fox Zero fuck it up? Well, first off, that glorious introducer voice. His glorious voice has been grabbed from the recording booth and booted the fuck out of Nintendo. Maybe he died, maybe they just don't like him, whatever, but instead of replacing him with somebody epic, they replaced him with my favorite voice actor in the entire Star Fox series, Sonic Ma-fucking Cloud. Now, I am stuck listening to I have to listen to this stupid Sonic voice throughout the game, and now I'm stuck listening to him during the introduction. Hey guys, let's talk about Star Fox. Fuck you. Oh. But don't worry, that's not the only way they decided to kick the intro in the groin. They decided to grab this little epic intro, put it in a headlock, and then deliver a solid DDT onto a metal chair. But instead of making it nice, short, simple, giving us the quick information we need to know, they make it way longer and give us a bunch of information we don't actually need. You know what? This information isn't bad information. They could have given it to us in the story, kind of just dropped it along, letting us learn more information about the story. Oh, but I forgot. Story writing is not Star Fox's strong suit. So they figured, let's just shove it all in the intro and get all the story development out right now. If we tell everybody how close these characters are in the introduction instead of actually showing it off throughout the game, people will get invested right away instead of the opposite of them not getting invested at all. Now, one of the things I did rip apart from the first game, Star Fox 64, that is, Star Fox Zero was definitely not remaking at all. They're two completely separate games that just happen to pretty much go the exact same way. But one of the things I did rip apart from Star Fox 64 was the characters and the story of the game. The story wasn't very good. It was kind of just there to answer the question of, well, what is the point of this story? What is the point of playing this game? And the thing is, I'm okay with that in that game's circumstance. And there's a reason why I'm okay with it. It's because of the time period it came out. When you play a game like Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, Asteroids, and Super Mario, you're not really playing it for the story. At that point in time, the story wasn't really a big part of it. But as the years went on, story started to grow bigger, especially in the 90s. In the 90s, when we first start seeing some good stories start to enter the world of video games. Examples being Final Fantasy VII and Half-Life. But not all games were there yet. The stories started to become important, but we didn't have a whole crap ton of great games with great stories. So again, in the 90s, we didn't have as many great games that were starting to have these awesome storylines while still having great gameplay. Which is fine, I accepted that. You can't blame the industry for that. That was the way technology and the way the industry was moving at the time. But you zoom up to a year like 2015, now you can name just tons of games, tons, with great storylines while also having some awesome gameplay. Hell, there's some people like the company Telltale Games that his whole gimmick is having wicked story. So we expect more. We know more from stories. When we buy a game, part of the thing is we want that story to be good. There's a couple of games, don't get me wrong, a couple of genres where story isn't required, strategy games, certain puzzle-solving games, things like that. You don't necessarily need a story, but it's more a requirement now to have a good story if you want a successful game. Even Nintendo had to learn this lesson with Metroid Other M. The Metroid series was absolutely praised. The story kind of minimalist, but that's part of the beauty of it. And Other M, they decided to focus and add a story to the game, and people lost their shit because it wasn't the portrayal of the bounty hunting badass that we had seen from all the other games. My point being, in today's gaming environment, in today's gaming industry, most of the time, your game requires a good story to help push the game along while also having good gameplay. Can anybody take a guess as to which game series has not learned that lesson in nearly 20 years? Can anyone take a guess? Here, what do you think it is? Here, go ahead. Give me your answer.
Is it the Star Fox series?
Of course it's fucking Star Fox, because God forbid they learn that fucking lesson. Ugh! In almost 20 fucking years since Star Fox 64 came out, they have done dick fucking all to improve this story at all. All their games are moving forward, coming up with some great stories, but Nintendo is just going to rehash the same shit while also saying it is not a goddamn remake of the game it is clearly a remake of. Ugh!
Actually, there are some differences between Star Fox 64 and Star Fox Zero. For example, instead of Slippy crashing on that one planet, this time it's Peppy that crashes. So, that's an example of a difference. You're forgetting to mention that part there, aren't you? It's not entirely a remake.
Oh shit, you're right, Gary. I'm sorry. Let me make a correction here, okay? Nintendo has basically made no changes whatsoever to the game, basically remaking the exact same game with some little tiny insignificant changes that do not change the way that the plot flows from the original game in any way, shape, or form.
While claiming it is not a remake of Star Fox 64.
Now, yes, so one of the things I did love about Star Fox 64 was the charm of it. There was just a certain kind of charm to it. Now, don't get me wrong, it's still kind of there, but the thing is, we've already done this shit. So the charm no longer seems that appealing, because we already did this shit nearly 20 fucking years ago. So if they haven't made any changes in nearly 20 years to at least the story, we can make the same assumption that the character development is pretty much just the same as you left it last time. Of course there's no difference between these two games and their character development. In 20 fucking years we can't do any development whatsoever! We can't make these characters flow together. We can't add some more story to it to make them more interesting. They make no good changes in nearly 20 years. None. Come on, you motherfucker. We both fucking know there is one difference they made in character development. Come on, fucking say it. We both know it's coming. Fucking say what the one difference is, you fucking motherfucker.
Well, we we might have sorta, we might have changed Falco a little bit.
By change, he means they fucking neutered him. One of the few characters that actually had some development in Star Fox 64, Falco Lombardi. The huge fucking dickweed. He claimed to be one of the best pilots in the goddamn galaxy, but anytime he could not shake a bogey off him, it would have to be you that saves him. And you'd save him, you know what he would do? He'd never ever thank you, because he's just an asshole. He would spend the whole game just being a fucking dick, but we were okay with it. You know why? Because there was some development with him. We actually had some character. But why? Why in the nearly 20 years since Star Fox 64 came out did you guys go, guys, Falco seems really mean, okay? We don't need that in our kind of game. We should make Falco a little bit nicer in this.
Well, see, that's a brilliant idea. That way people will like him more because he's a nicer guy now.
No, you shouldn't have! One of the things we loved about Falco was he had some fucking character development. Yes, he was a dick, I'm not gonna lie. And you know what, I'm not saying that you need to have Falco look to Fox and go, hey Fox, why don't you suck my fucking cock? I'm not saying that. I'm not saying he's gonna, you know what, you're a fucking cunt, Fox. We don't need that. We don't need him to go extreme. We don't need him to go fucking Sonic versus Shadow the Hedgehog there. We don't need him to be extreme, but the amount of dickness he had was perfect. It was something we appreciated seeing. We don't need him to be toned down. It was part of the reason we loved him so much, and he was loved enough to be put in Super Smash Brothers. Now, he just blends in the background with all the other characters. And the real kicker now, you know who's got more development now? Fucking Slippy. Slippy's got more of a character than Falco. And what pisses me off beyond belief about all this is Nintendo can easily make these great characters. They can make these guys lovable. They can add some character development and make these characters grow together. They can do so much with them. But they don't. They choose not to. And they can do it. They can easily do it. And I'm not just saying that because you look at other games like Pokemon, like Fire Emblem, you look at Super Mario series, you look at Legend of Zelda, and they can have all these characters and story development. It's not because of that I'm saying it. It's because they already did this. They made these characters lovable and work together and just be this wickedly awesome team. And when did they do this? They did it this year. They made these characters wickedly awesome and work well together. Now you're probably wondering, well, what do you mean they made them work so well together? The only game that came out for Star Fox was this game and Star Fox Guard. What game did they possibly come out where they worked together and looked wicked as a team? That's the fucking kicker. It's not even the video game. It's the goddamn trailer they released for Star Fox Zero. When this game came out, they released a trailer called Star Fox Zero: The Battle Begins. It is a 13-minute trailer. It's like almost like an intro to the game that basically explains what happened leading up to the very first battle you take part in and the consequences afterwards. And it's so good. Oh my god, I love it. Instantly I was hooked watching it. Just seeing this thing and seeing how these characters work together. I loved every single main character. You see Peppy's character. You see Slippy. Slippy's awesome in it. Oh my god, I love him. You see this genius side of Slippy. You see him as a great character. You see Falco being a dick. You see all of these characters just working so well together. And you see hints of good, dare I say it, storytelling. They leave hints and traces and they start to build up to this great story. And at the end of it, I go, holy shit. This looks awesome. This is so wicked what they've done with just the story alone. I can't wait to play the game. How was I wrong? How? How can you grab a trailer and work so hard on it and make it just so awesome and literally fix every issue I've ever had with the game? Make these characters relatable in development and just piss it all away. You know, one of the biggest fixes they could have done to just change it to make this game actually that much better would be to just add little cutscenes like this trailer. to put in between all this, instead of having that stupid thing where before every mission you cut to Peppy standing there on his one screen, and you cut to the Star Fox team, and nobody says anything but Fox and Peppy. And Fox, all he says, haha, we'll do it, boss, because we're a team, and friendship is the power of love. We'll do it. And the others just sit there going, oh my fucking God. I don't give a shit. We know the mission. We've done this already 20 years ago. Let's go. Let's go. Instead of getting those stupid little cutscenes where they're just Peppy and them talking back and forth, why not add these? Why not add these cutscenes where you get these characters developing and working together and you see them grow? It's possible to do. You have done it, but yet you just throw it away. How? How? Now, honestly, it's not like I can make fun of the gameplay of this game itself. The gameplay it's fun. I mean, don't get me wrong. Anytime you're stuck in bird mode, those missions are just garbage, and the stealth missions are incredibly boring. But the game is not bad itself. And yes, I've said the gameplay itself isn't bad. And I have said before in the past that this kind of space-style shooter isn't necessarily my cup of tea, but I still can appreciate and respect and understand that people would definitely enjoy this game for the game style itself. And I know a lot of people say, oh, the controllers are garbage. I honestly didn't find them too bad. It was like Splatoon. Once you get used to it, it's actually a lot of fun. And so again, while I don't necessarily love the gameplay style, it's fun. But those that bird and stealth mission, I kind of wish they'd removed and done something different. Don't get me wrong, I love when a company is able to be creative with some of their game designs. I think kind of the best way to have done that maybe would have been to offer different ways to do the same mission. Offer one mode where you can just do that mission flying, or offer a different mode where you can just do the whole mission in a tank. That would offer you forced to play the map differently based on where you are, and it offers a lot more challenge to you guys and challenge to the player. That would be a good way to offer, if you wanted to offer some diversity. That's a good way to do it.
Or we could make the tanks have the ability to fly.
No. Why would you have the tank have the ability to fly? That would basically render tank mode absolutely useless.
Well, because tanks look cool. That's the flying tank. Woo!
Jesus fucking Christ. I guess if we're talking about cool looks, then let's move on to the graphics. The graphics of this game, yeah, they look awesome. It's absolutely beautiful to see this game. To see the way the stars look, the planets, just everything about it looks just so damn beautiful. Some of the few things I didn't necessarily like about the graphics were the explosion effects, which I already cracked the joke about in Star Fox 64 as a review. They just seem pretty lame compared to everything else. But all in all, aesthetically, the game doesn't look bad. So, I guess if I had to work on one thing graphically, I would be maybe to improve on the explosion effects for the sequels. oh wait, this game's never getting a sequel. Oh my God, this game fucking killed the franchise. Oh. No, if there is one thing I did have issue graphic-wise, it would have to be the main characters, aka the Star Fox crew. Now, when you look at these characters, I've heard a lot of people say that they do not like how hyper-realistic a lot of these things look. They found them kind of creepy looking. But honestly, I didn't mind that. Because considering how beautiful the rest of the game looks, I would expect these characters to look this gorgeous in that kind of world. So it makes sense. But then you stop taking a look at the cover of the game and the title screen, and you actually boot up the game. And what the fuck? You look at the picture of these guys, the fucking how they look versus how they look in the game. You go from something beautifully looking realistic to this.
Alright, Peppy, I'm clearly too stupid to figure out where on earth to shoot this bad guy. Please, tell me, Peppy, where do I have to shoot this bad guy to kill him?
Quickly, Fox! Shoot for the giant flashing buttons that you basically should know how to shoot by now because they've been doing it for every video game since 1984.
Oh, wow, that actually kind of seemed rather obvious. Alright, thanks for pointing that out, Peppy. Quickly, Slippy, I need to know what the health reading of this character is. I need to know how badly I am hurting him or if I'm hurting him at all.
I mean, you could just shoot him until he dies. But then that would render my job useless.
Perfect. That's awesome. Thank you, Peppy. Falco, quickly, I need your help. Flank him from the left side.
Sure, Fox. I'll do it for you. And you know why? Because friendship is the most powerful thing in the universe. And you guys give me that power every single day. Let's do it, guys, for friendship! Woo! And it's not like they can't look as good as they show on the cover. For the most part, every character in this game looks fantastic, as long as they don't appear in that little tiny screen in the corner. AKA the way that Star Fox communicates with each other. It's just stupid. Why would you advertise your game and put so much effort to making these guys look as realistic as possible and then pussy out and make them look like garbage in the corner? Now, last, and thank God least, the gameplay. Yes, I know I already talked about it, but there are a couple things kind of worth bringing up that I didn't mention before. One, you cannot 100% any mission until you beat the game. In Star Fox 64, you were offered multiple different paths to go down to beat the game right off the bat. It all depended on how you beat the mission. In this game, yeah, it's there, but you can't do it until you've actually beaten the game once, which is dumb. Why would you do that? In the first game, it makes it seem like it's part of the game, it's an actual feature, whereas this, it seemed like a last-minute addition going, oh crap, people aren't going to like this game at all. Well, why don't we just add it to the very end then? That way people get to play it more. Why? Why do we? That makes no sense to do it like that. It's just dumb. Allow that choice off the bat. To be able to allow things like that. Video games are such a unique medium because compared to anything else, you have the choice. You decide how it goes. Not a lot of other mediums can offer that choice. So to have options where you can go multiple paths is a great thing. Always embrace that. But you backed out, kind of pussied it out and going, oh, well, I kind of don't really want to. It almost seems, this seems almost like they were going to add all these other paths as DLC. If it was like an EA game, I feel like that's what they would have done. It's just dumb. Why would you do that? Make it off the bat an actual feature. Ugh. And two, no matter what you do, you will never be able to fight the real version of Andross. Alright, now here comes some big spoilers for a 19-year-old game. At the end of Star Fox, you can fight the real Andross. How it works, you can fight the normal. If you just kind of beat the game regularly, you can fight robotic Andross in both Star Fox 64 and Star Fox Zero. But if you 100% the game, you can fight Andross's real form in Star Fox 64. He's not even an option in Zero. And it's not even like they give, like, why? What is, why would they do that? Why would you remove the real version? It gives a challenge for people to have to 100% the game and beat it to fight the real version, the actual boss. It gives people a challenge, especially the hardcore Star Fox fans. And you didn't even do that. You throw out the option, you just basically gave the same fight over again. Why? What is the point? And it's not even like you even gave a hint like he still exists or not. You could have given a hint at the end of the game going, he's still alive. I'm like, okay, cool. At least it's a sequel with it in mind, but you didn't even give that. What were you worried about? Were you worried that it looked too scary? Because in the 3DS remake of Star Fox 64, you included the real version. So why didn't you include the real version in this game? There's just so many stupid choices that make little to no fucking sense as to why on earth they would do this. It's just bullshit. That's the best way to describe this whole game. It's just fucking bullshit. You want to make a good game, but you shit all over it. What was so many decisions? Just bullshit, stupid choices. If you want to make a remake of the game, fine. I wouldn't have criticized it, because you at least own it that it's a remake. But it's not even a remake. You're pushing it out as its own game. I remember seeing all the different games they were going to announce. All these new exciting games that are coming to Wii U, and Star Fox was one of those games right at the end of the line there. And it wasn't advertised as a remake, it was a brand new spanking game. You included new stages for it in Smash Brothers, making us think it's a legitimately new game, and it's not. It's just the same shit we have already seen, just over and over. It's just utter bullshit. It's bullshit like this that ruins trust for these kind of franchises. It's bullshit like this that kills things like this. Nintendo was so shocked that Star Fox hasn't been doing well, but I'm not. Have you played the game? Why would you make so many stupid choices like this? It's choices like this that kill franchises. Star Fox is one of the many franchises that Nintendo has left in the doghouse, and sequels like this cause it to stay in the doghouse. It's bullshit what has happened here. You slaughtered a franchise. Just slaughtered it. F-Zero was on one bad console, the GameCube, and we haven't seen it since. Samus had one bad game, and since then all we've got is basically nothing. And yes, I'm ignoring the Federation Force there. So we're basically going to say it's nothing. And now this game, you beat your franchise down. Now we're not going to see a Star Fox game for a long time. For people who are actually fans of the series, it's disappointing. Star Fox, I'm not going to claim to be the world's biggest fan or the biggest expert, but it's a fine series. It's a good series. It deserves some respect. And that was not given to it. It was just the opportunity to be brought back to the main big console is just thrown away. I think the only chance now that Star Fox ever has to come back is if it gets booted down to the minor leagues. If it just gets sent to the 3DS and becomes like a 3DS exclusive. Like Pokemon or Kid Icarus and so on. Give the series a chance to grow and figure out its groove again. Because that clearly, it has lost its groove and it doesn't know what it wants to be. It doesn't know what it wants to do, and it clearly needs some time. We want Star Fox back. We want a good one. Not a fucking remake. Bring us something new. I'm giving Star Fox Zero a 1 out of 5. So what did you think of Star Fox Zero? Do you think my rating was way too low? Do you think Star Fox would be a wicked handheld exclusive? Or do you just want Nintendo to give Falco his balls back? Whatever you think, let me know in the comments section down below, and I'll see you next time.